Hello everybody, I hope you are well. I'm going to talk about how to write a good informative essay. And these are the steps you need to follow in order to complete your next writing assignment. The deadline, which will be in the middle of April, is also mentioned in the virtual classroom, Fero Virtual. And if you have any questions, please send me a message or an email. Study the structure of informative essays. Remember, we need to have an introduction, a body with 2 or 3 paragraphs, and a conclusion. When we study the structure of informative essays, please pay attention to the structure of the essay on page 62 of your student's book. Also, look at the structure of the informative essay that's on page 161. That's really useful too. The opening. This is the introduction to the topic, and it should have 40 to 50 words. It can also include a definition or a description of the method of exercise that you want to talk about. Also in the body, you need 2 paragraphs, approximately of 40 words each, that develop the topic using facts and examples. In the body of your essay, you'll need to include the benefits or disadvantages. And this is not to say that you're going to write a for and against essay. No, this means that you'll discuss the benefits or advantages or disadvantages as a way of describing the method of exercise that you're talking about. Also include explanations about a typical session, what a typical session includes, and the origins or history as a way of describing the method better. Also talk about who can do the fitness method you've chosen. This could be only strong and flexible people, or maybe you want to say it's a method that anybody can do. The closing, which is also, you could also say conclusion, should be about 30 words. A summary is not a repetition of the introduction. You're not going to use the same language. You're going to rephrase in a shorter way the message that you want to get across. Also, very important is to give your opinion. Do you like the method of exercise you have chosen? Or do you think it's useful? Do you think it's effective? Maybe you don't like it. Maybe you think it's unpleasant or unrealistic. Also, you can say whether you recommend the exercise method to other people. When you get started, first of all, you need to decide on a fitness method, obviously. The second step is to start brainstorming ideas. You can use the internet, such as Google, Wikipedia, articles on online newspapers and things like that, in order to find information. But you have to be careful not to get distracted. Instead of getting sucked into watching YouTube videos, and then you'll find that 5 hours have passed before you've actually written your essay. Use 2 or 3 sites that contain the information that you need, and that way you'll maintain focus on the topic. 2, brainstorming. You'll need to find the answers to 4 or 5 of the following questions. When you use questions, it's really helpful to direct your search. It gives your search a better direction and focus. These are the brainstorming questions that you can use. I would use at least 4 or 5 of them. For example, where and when the method originated, who invented it, what its purpose is, its benefits, advantages or disadvantages, how it is done, what equipment is needed and who can do it. People of all ages. How to get started. 2. Keep a log, a diary, a notebook or a Word document on your computer. I normally use a Word document because it makes things much easier and faster, and I just copy and paste information I find on the internet and then paste them in a Word document and use them to construct my essay with. When you're using a brainstorming log, note down the facts and ideas as you find them, because I find that very few people have a photographic memory. So keep a track of the ideas that you're finding and paste them or copy them down into your notebook as you find them. You can copy and paste into your document or notebook. This is what I mentioned earlier. Don't forget to change 3 words in every sentence in order to avoid plagiarism. Or if you change only 2 words, try to find a way of changing the word order of any copied sentence. Yes, no plagiarism. It's something that's very dangerous because in university, if you have plagiarized something, you will get 0 points or even lose your place on the course. So, no to plagiarism. Don't ever copy from a friend because I can pick it up in 2 or 3 minutes. It's something that very few teachers will pass over and fail to notice. So don't bother trying. Thanks. A very important tip when you start off your brainstorming log, use a huge cross in the middle of your page or document. You can number them 1, 2, 3, 4 or introduction, body, conclusion as you like or with nothing. But use the cross and organize your ideas at the same time you find them. And this way you make a note of your ideas and you're organizing them at the same time. It's a time saver. Going back to the structure again, organize your ideas into paragraphs. The introduction or the opening, there. The first paragraph of the body, the second paragraph of the body, and your conclusion or closing paragraph. When you get started, also don't forget that a different idea needs a new sentence. Really long sentences with 3 or 4 ideas are very difficult to read. and understand. Only use two ideas in the same sentence if you're comparing or contrasting them. Remember, in the body of your essay, this can be divided up in terms of time or concepts. For example, in the first paragraph, you can talk about the origins and the history of the method. And in the second paragraph, you can talk about the method's recent history and its popularity nowadays. Another way of doing this is, in the first paragraph, you can talk about the psychological advantages or disadvantages of practicing the method you've chosen. And don't forget to add facts and an example to illustrate your statement. In the second paragraph, you can talk about the physical benefits or disadvantages of the exercise method and add one fact or two facts and an example as well. Obviously, when you are starting your essay, you need to decide where and what you are going to include. Use these expressions on page 63 of your student's book. Also, use the connectors on pages 62, 63 and 155. If you use the language that is provided in the book, you will get higher marks. Make a checklist of the following criteria. And obviously, you use this checklist to correct your work or elaborate your work in case you've forgotten something. But it's also really good to remember that this criteria is what I use to mark your essays. So, point 1 is the organizational structure. Check your essay to see if it's following the recommended organization. The spelling, check your spelling. Very often we make very silly spelling mistakes. Or if you use Microsoft Word or a similar word processing program, you can change the language to British English and that will check your spelling for you. Also remember punctuation, which is a really important part of grammar. Using full stops, commas, question or exclamation marks means you will have work that is understandable and grammatical. Check your grammar. Use the grammar section at the back of your book to help you, and use your word processing program as well. Don't forget your word order. Word order is very important for a natural and logical sounding essay. Don't make my eyes bleed. Include connectors of cause and result on page 62 and 155. They're very important in selectividad, so if you get into the habit of using them now and practice, when it comes time for you to do your big exams, you won't have to think about them and they will come out automatically. Also use 4 or 5 of the following useful expressions. The language you use, good expressions that come from the book will always get you higher marks in your writing assignments and your exams. So, this one. First one is this type of exercise began in or was invented by, and so on. It is popular, or it is important because, and it's great for so and so. And one benefit is blah, 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 and it develops and so on. It can help with it can help prevent and it can be done by, or it is suitable for such and such. It is highly recommended, or it is not recommended. People should, or people can, right, and so on. Writing an informative essay. Don't forget to check the deadlines for all of your assignments on the virtual classroom. If you have any doubts, please send me an email. And, well, time for action. Now is the time for you to write your essay. Don't leave it until it's too late, please. Thank you. Good luck.